go and work in these mines. Two problems. One is these mines are very large. Two, the mines are located in the eastern part of Australia where there aren't too many people. Very thinly populated area. So what they have devised is the mine casting, cutting and transporting all the earth moving equipment, or most of the earth moving equipment is driven in the remote mode by engineers sitting in Sydney and Melbourne on the western side of Australia. So driverless, operatorless earth moving equipment carrying out mining in the eastern part of Australia, because the inflation there, wage inflation is something like 25% year after year. They just cannot afford it. Now, a company from India would go and say, you're remotely managing all this earth moving equipment from Sydney. Why Sydney? Why not Chennai? Why not Coimbatore? Why not Bangalore? It's the same thing. As long as you have fast communication links, and if you have the capability to operate them, it could be done from anywhere. You do it during the day, during your off hours. If you want it to be a 24/7 mine, we can do it from India. And that's a great opportunity. That's an opportunity that is provided by virtualization. Tremendous growth, facilitated by information technology, but applied in the mining industry. So such is the power of virtualization, that the number of engineers and the bright people that this country produces is just not going to be sufficient in the future. Technology, genomics is interesting. Should I study biotechnology? No, the answer is not as simple as that, but that's not the prerequisite. When people like us hire for the industry, we are not looking at how much you know in biotechnology or how much you know in mining or in computers. It's required, but that's not the only thing. When we look at competence of people like you, what is competence? Competence is broadly three parameters. You have some knowledge base, you have skills, and the attitude. Together, these three constitute your competence. We believe skill and knowledge can be relatively easily acquired. It's the attitude that is important. Attitude also can be changed. Attitude and behavior can be changed. People talk about reinventing, but it's much more difficult to change behavior than anything else. Because these are things that are formed, your attitude, your behavior, etc. Your values are formed from your childhood, during your college days, etc. So when people like us come, we want to measure the attitude. Are you a team player? Do you have original thinking? Do you challenge axioms that are proposed? Do you communicate effectively? Have you the ability to learn on your own? So these are some aspects of attitude that we measure. Based on that, whether or not you have enough skill or knowledge, we hire them, then provide them opportunities to learn the knowledge and the skills that are required to succeed in the job. So it's that attitude which is primarily composed of your basic values of integrity, truth, honesty, your ability to learn on your own, and the ability to communicate, that are extremely important. And there are enough vehicles that are available while you're here in the campus to get the appropriate attitude to come in and succeed in that industry. And the final point that I want to make is about, again, something that was touched upon by the previous speakers, about learning. Once you are in the industry, once you come out, you're learning on your own. There aren't too many people teaching. There aren't teachers like the teachers that you have here, who prepare, who monitor your learning, who test that you have learned, who provide all the coaching that is necessary for you to succeed in the exam. Nothing like that. You have to learn on your own. The faster learner, the better learner, the person who applies that learning effectively succeeds more rapidly than the other person. So you need to have an open mind. It's a big responsibility of learning. In fact, the moment you leave college, there is a big responsibility anyway on your shoulders. All along until college, for most of you, the parents have been making the decision as to where to go, which college, what to study, how to study, when to go, when to take leave, etc., etc. But once you are on your own, working in a company, you have the responsibility to fulfill towards yourself, your family, and the company that you work for. You will be accountable for every action of yours, including the learning actions that you take. And that's a huge responsibility that many of you who are in the final year will have to be prepared for. Of course, there is plenty of help that is available. Once you have that right attitude, skill and knowledge, glory is yours. Glory is yours. And where does that take you? What do people like us, people like the chairman, look for? What is it that is driving them, motivating them? It's not the money. By virtue of your education, your money, your livelihood, your success in life is guaranteed. That's not a problem. But what every individual, every man, woman craves for is respect in society. We want to be respected as an individual for what we have done. It's that respect that drives us to do better things. It's that recognition by our peers, by our superiors, by society that drives us day in and day out. Just as the way institutions like this, what's the driving force? It's the pride. They're so proud of this institute. Students who go out and say, I studied in BIT. I'm so proud. The teachers say, I'm proud of working in this institute. Employees in Cognizant, when we measure the employee satisfaction, the first item that we measure is what is the individual's pride and commitment in Cognizant. If the pride is high, you don't worry about anything. They will do the right thing as far as that company is concerned. So earning that respect and pride for yourself and your institution is the ultimate goal that all of you will have to challenge, will have to really chase, and you have been given enough tools, enough values, enough training that I'm sure all of you will be successful. And Cognizant will be back here and hire as many students as we can from this college. And that's an assurance from me. All the very best and
thank you. Thank you, sir. Achievements are a result of unrelenting.
Alagammal Charitable Trust Gold Medal, Yuvaraj. Third year, Sharmila. Fourth year, again Sharmila, including 7th semester. I will move on to civil engineering. First year, Shamala Iswari. Second year, Ramya. Third year, Dharani. These are all the people who are the toppers in the class. Fourth year, Dharani. First year, ME Structural Engineering, Sri Vidya. Next, Mechanical Engineering, first year, Sylvester Danish Raj. Second year, Sanjay. Third year, Adarsh Krishnan. Again, including up to 7th semester, fourth year, then Adarsh Krishnan. First year, ME Engineering Design, Raghavendran. First year, ME CAT CAM, Kadirvel. Next year. Second year, Kartika. Fourth year, Prabhu. First year, ME, Power Electronics and Drives, Kanimoli. Electronics and Instrumentation, first year, Yuvashri. Second year, Amsita. Third year, Kanimoli. Fourth year, up to 7th semester, again Kanimoli K. First year, ME, Embedded Systems, Subita. Electronics and Communication Engineering, first year, Samantha. Second year, Sneha. Third year, Suganya. Again, fourth year, up to 7th semester, Suganya. First year, ME, Applied Electronics, Vadivel. First year, ME, Communication Systems, Sarumari. First year ME VLSI Design, Krishna Brinda is absent. Next, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, first year Saranya. Second year Manoj. Third year Suganya. Again, up to 7th semester, fourth year, Suganya. First year, ME, Computer Science, Parimala. Next, Information Technology. First year, Kritika. Second year, Divya. Third year, Ratna Janani. Again, fourth year, up to 7th semester, Ratna Janani. First year, ME, Software Engineering, Satya. Department of Textile Technology, first year,